White House reporters are a naturally inquisitive group, so after the press briefing room was briefly evacuated Tuesday, plenty of them were asking, what was that all about?
What was the president doing at the time?
Who covered up the cameras in this room?
Is there any reason for any concern in that delay before the evacuation took place?
The Secret Service said a bomb threat had been called in, which mentioned the briefing room specifically, so it was evacuated to allow for a search. Sounds pretty straightforward, but at least from the press's perspectives, a few things about it just didn't add up. First, reporters seemed surprised when they learned that White House staff hadn't been evacuated, and President Obama hadn't even been moved.
And it looks like, as far as I can tell right now, all I see being evacuated are reporters.
Check out the map here. You can see how close the briefing room is to the Oval Office.
ABC's Jonathan Karl pointed out that White House staff had been moved to the press secretary's office, steps from the briefing room. Second, and this one irked a lot of reporters, the cameras, many of which had been left on during the evacuation, were covered up or obscured by White House staffers.
Ernest could also not account for who went through the briefing room while it was cleared out and pointed our cameras at the ceiling.
Very interesting. They physically covered the cameras that were in there.
Which is odd. I've never seen that happen either.
I don't find that really surprising, but it's weird.
There was also a general feeling that the Secret Service's actions didn't make a whole lot of sense. In the video, you can see that the reporters didn't get into much of a hurry, and the officers didn't make much of an effort to move them along. But a former Secret Service agent told CNN for the evacuation to have happened at all, there had to have been a pretty big risk.
It doesn't look good to evacuate the press room. To get to that decision probably required the input of someone at the upper executive level of the Secret Service, which says to me that it was a very serious and credible threat.
Press Secretary Josh Earnest was unable to answer most of the reporters' questions Tuesday, saying they would be better addressed to the Secret Service, which so far hasn't said much. For Newsyam's Zach Toombs.